Good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Good evening, wherever in the world you are. Sometimes, when you've consumed too much, you need to decompress. You need to take a break. You need to unplug. You need to turn off. You need to step away. You just need to go be by yourself and close everything else off. Especially if you've consumed too much and what you have consumed has altered your natural state of being. We're living in strange times now. Familiar times for those of color, for we've seen these things before. Same instances, some of the same events, some of the same actions. We've seen it before. These are strange times. And unlike before, now it's more accessible. Now you see it on your TV. Now you see it on your computer. Now you see it on your phone. Constantly. So in spite of all the turmoil that's going on right now, the protesting, the lynchings, and the killing of unarmed black men, the murder and kidnapping and sexual assault of black women, it's okay to take a day and just decompress from consuming too much of it, because too much consumption of it, it'll drive you crazy. It'll drive you completely mad. And if we're going to overcome, if we're going to create change, if we're going to implement some of the strategies and things that we've talked about in our plans and amongst our group discussions and think tanks, if we're going to do that as black people, we need to decompress. We need to breathe. Because you can't keep consuming this stuff every day without going completely insane. It's too much, even for the hardest of the hardest people. It's too much. And you need to take a day to decompress. Now, this is a positive platform. This is a free platform where nothing but positivity gets spoken. And while there's not a lot of positivity going on right now, you have to find them as part of your decompressing process. Because if you just consume only the negative, all you will only see is the negative. That's just like if I tell you to right now, look for red everywhere, then close your eyes and tell me everything that you saw that was red. It's because that's all you were focused on. If you focus on all the stuff that's negative, that's all you see, then that's all you will always see. You need to decompress. You need to step away, turn off, turn over, get away from. You need to do something to get it out of your system before it completely alters your state of being. Because if you are a positive person, such as myself, originally and organically, then too much of what's going on right now, consuming too much of that will completely turn you topsy-turvy. Completely alter your state, thinking that everything is just a mess and the world is just a terrible place to be. To a severe level, it might even want to have you take yourself out of there because you can't take it no more. And that's not any way to be. Life is still worth living. In spite of the circumstances, there's still a fight that needs to be going on. There's still a fight that is going on, and we still need people to fight it. The only way you do that is to stay alive. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep speaking out. Keep sharing. keep trying to hold people accountable by putting videos and cameras on them, do that. But don't forget, you still need to self-care. Take a day. In spite of all the fighting you do, all the speaking out, all the radicalism, all the rebellion, all of that, in spite of all that, all the good work that you're doing, take a day and let it go for one day and decompress before it completely consumes you and changes who you are as a person. You need to remain who you are as a person organically. And if you're a happy person organically, that one that people see every day that's a normally happy person, then we need you to stay that. We don't need you to consume all of the problems of the world and take them on yourself. You don't need that burden, because there are people who will stand with you and fight with you and run with you and walk with you and march with you and do whatever they have to do with you. You don't have to do it alone. So take a day and breathe and decompress, because all of this stuff going on right now, it's too much, and too much consumption of it, much like alcohol or any other substance, will completely alter your state of being. And we don't want that. We don't need that. We need you to stay exactly who you are. Just you. That's all I gotta say. My advice, my positive note for the day is to self-care. Take a day and just decompress. Don't consume any of what you've been consuming every day, because it's right there in your face. Take a day and breathe. Give yourself some breathing room. Take a day off and just breathe. Get yourself together, because we all need that if we're gonna survive. Period. Take that as my note of positivity. Take that, utilize it, exercise it, and pass it along to someone else who you know needs it. Tell them to breathe. Tell them to let go for one day. Tell them to decompress and self-care for one day, because we all need it if we're gonna survive. Keep fighting a good fight, everybody. Stay alive. And if you can, because I know it's hard right now, stay positive. It's Motivation Monday. Go be dope.